Meta description. What is the truth the world refuses to see about Jungkook? Behind the fame, the pressure, and the perfect image. What story has never been told? Stay with us, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as we uncover a reality that may change how you see everything. What if the version of Jungkook you've always believed in is only a fragment of a much larger, more complicated truth? What if the global icon, the flawless performer, the symbol of perfection is also someone navigating a reality that few ever stop to question? Before you continue, ask yourself this. Are you ready to see beyond the image, even if it challenges everything you thought you knew? There is something undeniably powerful about the way Jungkook is seen by the world. His presence commands attention, his performances captivate millions, and his image has become synonymous with excellence. But within that admiration lies a narrative that is often simplified, reduced to success and talent, leaving little room for the complexities that exist beneath the surface. Because behind every moment that is celebrated, there are countless others that are not seen, not shared, not understood. Fame, in its most visible form, appears to be a constant elevation. It lifts individuals into a space where recognition becomes a daily reality, where every achievement is amplified, and where the connection with fans spans continents. But what is less visible is how fame reshapes the structure of everyday life. For Jungkook, fame is not an occasional experience, it is a constant environment, one that influences not only what he does, but how he exists. From a young age, he entered an industry that demanded more than just skill. It demanded adaptability, discipline, and an ability to withstand scrutiny at a level that most people will never encounter. His journey was not simply about becoming successful. It was about maintaining that success in a space where expectations are always evolving and rarely forgiving. And in that process, a subtle transformation occurs, one where the line between personal identity and public image begins to blur. The pressure that accompanies such a transformation is not always loud. It does not always manifest in obvious ways. Instead, it often exists quietly, woven into routines, decisions, and even thoughts. It is present in the need to meet expectations, to uphold a reputation, to remain consistent in a world that is constantly watching. This kind of pressure does not disappear. It adapts, becoming a part of the rhythm of life. And yet, within that rhythm, there are moments that feel out of sync. Moments that hint at a different reality, one that exists beyond the carefully constructed image. These moments are not dramatic, but they are significant. They reveal glimpses of vulnerability, of reflection, of the emotional depth that cannot always be expressed openly. Jungkook's story is often framed as one of achievement, and rightly so. His accomplishments are undeniable, his influence far-reaching. But to understand his journey fully, it is necessary to look beyond the achievements and consider the experiences that accompany them. Because success does not eliminate struggle, it often introduces new forms of it. One of the most profound aspects of this reality is the concept of visibility. Jungkook is seen by millions, his life unfolding in front of a global audience. But being seen is not the same as being understood. Visibility can create connection, but it can also create distance. It allows people to feel close, while simultaneously maintaining a separation that is difficult to bridge. This separation is where many of the untold aspects of his story reside. It is where thoughts remain unspoken, where emotions are managed rather than expressed, where personal experiences exist outside the narrative that is shared with the public. It is not a matter of secrecy, but of complexity. Some aspects of life simply cannot be fully conveyed, especially in an environment where every word carries weight. Another dimension of this story lies in expectation. Jungkook is not only expected to perform at a high level, he is expected to embody a certain ideal. This ideal is shaped by fans, by media, by the industry itself. It is a composite image that represents excellence, reliability, and emotional connection. While this can be empowering, it can also be limiting. It creates a framework within which he is expected to operate, leaving little room for deviation. Over time, these expectations can become internalized. They are no longer just external pressures, but part of an internal dialogue. Questions arise. Am I meeting expectations? Am I doing enough? Am I staying true to myself? These are not questions that are easily answered, especially in a context where personal and public identities are so closely intertwined. And then there is the emotional reality, the aspect that is often the most difficult to articulate. Emotions in such a context are layered, influenced by both personal experiences and external factors. Joy is real, but it is accompanied by responsibility. Pride exists, but it is intertwined with pressure. Moments of doubt may arise, but they are often navigated quietly, without the space to fully express them. There have been instances where Jungkook has allowed glimpses of this emotional reality to surface. Moments where the polished image softens, where the distance between the public and the personal narrows, even if only briefly. These moments are important, not because they reveal everything, but because they remind us that there is more to the story than what is consistently shown. The untold story of Jungkook is not a hidden secret waiting to be uncovered. It is an ongoing narrative, one that evolves with time, shaped by experiences, choices, and circumstances. It is a story that exists both within and beyond the public eye, one that cannot be fully captured in a single perspective. As observers, as fans, as participants in this global phenomenon, there is a role to play in how this story is understood. It requires a willingness to move beyond surface-level interpretations, to consider the complexities that exist beneath the image. It requires an acknowledgement that admiration and understanding are not the same, and that one does not automatically lead to the other. The hidden truth, then, is not about uncovering something shocking or unexpected. It is about recognizing the depth of an experience that is often simplified. It is about understanding that behind the fame, behind the pressure, behind the carefully maintained image, there is a person navigating a life that is both extraordinary and deeply human. And as you reach this point, the question returns, perhaps more clearly than before: if the world began to see Jungkook not just as an icon, but as an individual with complexities, challenges, and evolving identity, would it change the way we perceive him? If this perspective has shifted something in you, don't let it end here. Share your thoughts, engage in the conversation, and consider what it means to truly see someone beyond the image. Because sometimes, the most important truths are not the ones that are hidden, but the ones we choose to acknowledge. And yet, even as these realizations begin to settle, another layer quietly emerges, one that is perhaps even more difficult to confront. Because understanding the complexity of Jungkook does not simply change how we see him, it challenges how we see the entire system that surrounds him. And that raises an uncomfortable question that lingers beneath everything else. Is the world truly prepared to accept the full reality of someone it has already defined so clearly? There is a certain comfort in simplicity. It is easier to admire a flawless image than to engage with a complicated truth. It is easier to celebrate success than to question what it demands. And in many ways, the global narrative surrounding Jungkook has been shaped by this preference for clarity over complexity. He is presented as exceptional, and he is. But the definition of that exceptionality often leaves little room for contradiction. But real life does not operate within such clean boundaries. It is messy, evolving, and often filled with contradictions that cannot be easily resolved. For Jungkook, this means existing in a space where strength and vulnerability coexist, where confidence can be accompanied by uncertainty, where moments of fulfillment can exist alongside moments of quiet questioning. These are not weaknesses, they are realities. Yet they are rarely given the same attention as the more polished aspects of his story. The deeper one looks, the more it becomes clear that the untold story is not defined by a single hidden struggle or a dramatic revelation. Instead, it is shaped by accumulation, the gradual build-up of experiences, expectations, and emotions that form a reality far more nuanced than any headline can capture. It is in the repetition of performances, the consistency of appearances, the constant need to remain present and engaged, even when energy may be limited or emotions are complex.